Okay, so welcome to another video, another instructional video. This one is going to be a nice quick tip. This is a really nice fill that's really fun to do around the drums. It sounds really advanced, it sounds really cool, but the sticking isn't really super challenging. So this is a really fun one to get up to speed. Now this fill incorporates some linear concepts, which means that each drum is going to be playing basically by itself. So you can create some really interesting fills that way by using these linear ideas. So how this one's going to work is you're going to start with a right hand on the snare drum. Then you're going to play your left hand on the high tom. Follow that by a right-left on the floor tom. So if you put that all together, it's right, left, and it's just right on the snare, left on the high tom, 2 notes on the floor tom. Okay, couple things to think about. It's really important to be getting a nice and balanced sound, so you want to play in the center of the drum. You want to make sure your arm movement is really smooth. Okay, you don't want any herky-jerk kind of thing going on. You want some really nice smooth movement around the drums. I don't know if you can see my arms here a little bit. So that's the first part of this fill. The second part is going to be, or rather the next little aspect of it, is going to be 2 notes on the foot. Okay, so we're going to put those right in front of those 4 notes. Okay. Now this is a 1-bar fill, basically. It's a 1-bar 16th note fill. So a good idea, a good place to use this would be bar number 4 of a 4-bar phrase, or the 8th bar, or excuse me, the 3rd bar or the 7th bar. I'll get to what I mean in a second by that. So basically this fill is comprised of this phrase, and then you're going to play that same phrase again with no rest. Okay, now a couple other things to think about. I am using the heel up bass drum technique. It helps me snap those doubles really quick. So there's definitely kind of a toe and then the ball of the foot is kind of the part of my foot that I'm using to do this. That'll help you kind of slap those doubles out. So once you play that phrase 2 times, you're going to follow it up with a right, left on the floor tom, and that's the entire phrase. Ready again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ready again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after that, you can, you probably want to follow it up with a nice crash on the bass drum. So a couple more times. 1, 2. Ready again. 2, ready again. 3 and a 4 and 2, 3 and 4 and Yeah. yeah, if at any point, like me a little bit, there's any points that are a little less smooth than you would like, just pick that phrase apart, you know, whether it's the, you know, or it's, you know, if there's a part of the phrase that needs to be smoothed out, just work through it at a nice, comfortable, slow tempo where you can really be sure you're nailing the subdivision. Because what makes this fill interesting and sound really good is when it's really clean. So cleanliness comes from working on it nice and slow, okay? So a couple more examples now when you put this whole fill together. Okay? I was actually kind of playing a little chopped up version of the phrase. That's a shorter one. That's one that's starting on beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So there's a version of this which is the full fill, which is an entire measure, and then you could do a half a measure. So with all these kinds of things, it's a good idea to be able to play different variations, be able to play a short version of it, a long version of it, all those kinds of things. So one more time. All right, have fun. That's quick tip.